Welcome to Make Money Online. Hope all of you are having a fantastic day, wherever you may be, across the street, across the country, or even across the world. We got a couple of things to look at briefly today. Only a small percentage of the entire world's population will see this. Arguably 1%, which is reasonable, given that a recent study found estimated global crypto ownership rates at an average of 3.9%, with over 300 million crypto users worldwide. So guys, what's coming next? Let's find out. Right off the bat, we have this tweet from Swift. We're collaborating with Capgemini to explore how Swift can interlink the multiple domestic-based CBDC networks emerging worldwide to make cross-border payments with digital currencies more seamless and frictionless. Guys, this is happening live. Swift, Capgemini team up to test the international network for CBDC transfers. Now, Capgemini proposes the Ripple system and its XRP coin. What does this mean for Ripple? What does it mean for XRP? And on to the next piece. If we scroll down just a little bit, it says here, the Capgemini report's findings on crypto adoption, if proven true, could help Ripple further its goal of establishing XRP as a leading payments protocol worldwide. Now don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications before we move on.
Payment processing system. So really what they're competing with is the SWIFT bank system, right? So right now, if you're sending money overseas from a U.S. bank, you have to use, or any Western country, you use that SWIFT system that is set up in Belgium. And that prevents money laundering in theory and all that kind of thing. But what the BRICS nations are doing is saying, well, we don't need to use the SWIFT system because we don't want to be subjected again to U.S. sanctions, because if the U.S. is sanctioning you, you can't move money using that SWIFT system. So what's really interesting is, number one, they're creating a payment system that would go around SWIFT. But how do you do that when you have 5 major countries that all have their own currencies? And one of the ways they're doing that is by using possibly cryptocurrency to do that. That would translate their currencies into a single cryptocurrency that is then used through the system and then formulated, I guess, when it gets into their country, back into their own personal currency. So essentially you're taking currency from one, sending it through as a cryptocurrency, and then back on the other end into transforming it into another currency.
So who are the BRICS nations and what do they stand for? Now let's take a quick look. According to the article, it says BRICS is the acronym denoting the emerging national economies of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. It is a growing Eastern World alliance led by China. So essentially, members of this great organization have been building their own cross-border remittance infrastructures that are independent of the US dollar and can act as options in contrast to SWIFT. Through that, BRICS members, particularly those who are always subject to US sanctions like Russia, can create their own principles for global banking and settlements. Additionally, by extending alternative financial infrastructures to other countries and regions, they can create greater buy-in for their own system and increase their financial and political influence through this alternative system. The entire world is tired of the SWIFT system and its many setbacks, given its monopolistic and centralized modus operandi, where a small number of countries like the US and UK have a great influence on its decision-making. What would be the alternative system, though? Could it be Ripple? Well, let's find out. So, looking at that and taking a look at this other piece of content regarding this from all over the internet, this one here is from the Daily Hodl. It says, World Economic Forum names XRP as crypto asset most relevant in central bank digital currency space. Next up, we have this tweet. CFTC confirms in their Lab CFTC doc of November 2017 that Ripple, XRP, is a virtual currency like Litecoin and Ethereum. Take a look at this post on Twitter by the IMF. It says, let's embrace diverse forms of money, says Kay Georgieva. A public digital platform could be a source of innovation, connecting various forms of money, from commercial bank deposits to central bank digital currencies to some stablecoin arrangements. And now that the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, SWIFT, and Capgemini, a global leader in consulting, technology services, and digital transformation, team up to test the international network for CBDC transfers, what platform do you think that this agency would most likely recommend? I think Ripple and XRP. This one here also says Ripple could be best solution for central banks likely to adopt CBDCs soon. This is according to a survey conducted by the Bank of International Settlements, or BIS, which demonstrated that most of the central banks around the world are probably going to adopt CBDCs in the span of the next 6 years. CBDCs, which stands for central bank digital currencies, will be integrated into the economies of about 90% of central banks around the globe, according to these statistics. as these central banks, each one, is actively working on its own version of its CBDC. Currently, there's an amazing pace of crypto and especially CBDC adoption by the national banks of various jurisdictions all over the planet, which might have been sped up by the pandemic and the development of Web3 and DeFi throughout the course of recent years. And in case you missed that, CoinMarketCap tweets, Andreessen Horowitz published its annual State of Crypto report, "You are still early in crypto." And if we follow through on that, we find this article that says, Andreessen Horowitz unveils 2022 State of Crypto report. Now, scrolling down a bit to the report's link, clicking through, it says here, introducing the 2022 State of Crypto report. And if we take yet another scroll downwards to the 5 takeaways from that report, we have number 1, we're in the middle of the 4th price innovation cycle. 2, Web3 is much, much better for creators than Web2. 3, crypto is having a real-world impact. 4th, Ethereum is the clear leader but faces competition. And last but not least, at number 5, yes, it's still early. Reading through that, it says, while it's hard to know the exact number of Web3 users, we can reason about the scale of the movement. We estimate that there are somewhere between 7 million and 50 million active Ethereum users today based on various on-chain metrics. Again, though it's very hard to estimate, if the trend lines continue as depicted, Web3 could reach 1 billion users by 2031. So what's happening in the metaverse and Web3 space this week? Twitch co-founder raises $24 million for Web3 gaming company MetaTheory. MetaTheory's Duskbreakers aims to be a wide-ranging sci-fi franchise spanning across NFTs, games, and comics. So MetaTheory, a Web3 gaming and entertainment company founded by Twitch co-founder Kevin Lin, was apparently able to raise $24 million in a funding round with investors such as Andreessen Horowitz, Pantera Capital, FTX Ventures, Dragonfly Capital, and others participating. And next up here we have Portugal makes a U-turn on cryptocurrency tax. Reversing its previous hands-off stance, the nation will impose taxes on the exchange and sale of cryptocurrencies. One more here, second Terra ecosystem revival plan proposes Luna Classic hard fork. The founder and CEO of Terraform Labs has proposed a second revival plan for the embattled stablecoin ecosystem. Another one here, China puts itself back on the Bitcoin mining map. Although Bitcoin mining is technically outlawed in China, the country returned as the second biggest mining hub globally. And last year, digital euro could come as soon as 2026, ECB official. In a Monday speech at the National College of Ireland, Fabio Panetta, an executive board member of the European Central Bank, said the ECB could start the development and testing of solutions toward providing a digital euro for members of the European Union in 2023, a phase that could take up to 3 years. He added that making the digital currency legal tender and for use in P2P payments could help promote adoption. Now, before we wrap up, take a look at this, guys.
Recession, reallocate your portfolio. This was always the danger of inviting the Wall Street types in, is that they would just simply treat crypto like any other asset and label it as an exotic high-risk one. And when the markets go in not the direction they want, they dump it. The retail people are holding because they are opting out of a global system that's unfair, a global system that's frankly rigged. I've seen it myself. I've been in the meetings. I've talked to the people everywhere I go. They don't give a fuck about sustainability. They don't care at all in any way, shape, or form about whether you live well. Your standard of living is the same as the standard of living of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. In fact, quite the opposite. They're trying to prepare the masses to accept a standard of living significantly less than the one that they inherited, the one that they grew up with.
And that's from Cardano's founder, Charles Hoskinson. But that's all I got for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch us again same time tomorrow. We'll see you in the next video.